welcome back to another fantastic episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I'm your host, Bernadette. Joining me today is Delyth Johnson. How are you?
I'm really good, Bernadette. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a good day. The sun is shining, and my cats are driving me crazy. So,
A bit of both going on there.
yeah, yeah. So, Delyth, can you tell us whereabout are you?
Yeah. I'm in Cumbria in northern England.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's nighttime here now. It's around 7:30 in the evening. It's
Oh,
not been sunny here today. We've had quite a
oh,
lot of rain
yeah.
with quite a lot of rainbows.
Oh,
That's been really beautiful. It's
yeah,
very green and lush up here. So
yeah,
I'm not far from Scotland
yeah.
to give all your listeners an idea. So really North England, about an
Yeah.
hour from Scotland.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. So, Delif, what is it that you do? What is your story? And how are you changing the world?
Oh wow, good question. So I help sensitive, insecure women to become more secure, which has been my journey.
Mm,
So I help them to move beyond, say, anxiety at the root
mm,
and really help them to, because we're working at the root, that they then can become more resilient with stress, which obviously helps all of their relationships. And through our work together, my aim is for them to become more of their true nature.
mhm.
And our true natures are more loving, more compassionate, more confident, more intuitive, creative. We're, I guess, in more of an alignment with our true desires and can bring them into form, which is still my journey and path, because, of course, we have a lot of thoughts that may rush in, or
Yeah.
feelings of fear, of self doubt. So I guess we're all on that journey. Um, and my journey has been to heal an insecure attachment. So I had an anxious attachment that I
Mm,
didn't realize until I was in my 40s.
mm,
And I have a really loving family. And it was
mhm.
just through some events that happened.
Yeah.
Um, and when I worked that out, or I went to see a therapist and she more or less said, this is what's going on, it really did make sense as to why I'd had such difficulties in intimate relationships with men,
Mm,
um, alcohol, drugs.
mhm.
I used to go out to when I was 16, the rave scene came into the UK. So
Mm.
I had that real sort of party side. And I still love the music, and there were some really beautiful moments.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but when I kind of realized what was going on, I could look back over my history with a new lens.
Hmm.
And so, because of my own journey to become secure and just that beautiful homecoming of learning to love and value yourself, which is such a deep journey, isn't it?
Mm,
Um, I wanted to then work and support women.
yeah.
And becoming your true nature is also about connecting with nature. So I'm also a forest bathing guide and a forest therapy practitioner. And so the trees were a really big part of my own healing.
Mm,
Used to find myself, if I'd feel really triggered, and I could feel those sensations of anxiety rising up through my body, and I could get stuck in those ruminating thoughts,
mhm.
I would just need to leave the house. and I would go into the trees near here and be with those trees, and sometimes would release a lot, quite intense emotions. And I always felt really safe
Mm.
with the trees, with the woodlands. And so I wanted then to train in something to offer that to people so they could create their own relationship with nature, because there's so much wisdom that nature will reflect back to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
So that is the sort of very brief version of events. And then I guess my vision is I want to create an online portal called Becoming Your True Nature, where I want to share simple tools for women. For example, at the moment, I work with heart, math, breath a lot, and I'm doing some training at the moment, trauma sensitive partner. Because that has made such a difference to me personally. So you're repatterning your nervous system every time you work with the heart, math, breathing, and it's so easy. I work with EFT, inner child, matrix re-imprinting, and some other bits and bobs and nature. And I also facilitate circles for women. And so my vision is to actually bring that into central space. Also then over time to have a physical, I would love a woodlands.
Yeah.
That's something I've wanted to do for such a long time, is to then have that space and to collaborate with other people to facilitate nature connection.
Yeah.
So that's me. Thank you for
Oh,
asking.
that's so beautiful. Your voice is so soothing. I could listen to you speaking for a very long time. Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Um, I've interviewed, I think, 4 guests this week, and the very core of what they shared was around women. So it's a women week, a women year. There's just so much power in that. And the interesting thing is, way before I had those interviews scheduled, I was talking about women. There's a video of me literally talking about women on my YouTube channel. And I had no idea that I was about to interview some powerhouses. So this is meant to happen. And I appreciate you showing up and sharing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Yes,
And
yes, definitely, definitely. There's so much to unpack. I love that you work with sensitive women.
thank
Uh,
you.
you're welcome. Give me some scenarios, how you see that culturally society sees women when they show emotions.
I feel that women have had to really toughen up, and women are very strong and
Yeah.
resilient. But I feel that women have had to put armor on and maybe be more in their masculine energy. Of course, we have both, and they're both really healthy.
Yeah.
And so, with that, women can become so very busy and they're juggling so very much and become worn out. And their natural feminine essence to care and nurture is here, but they're also having to do everything.
Yeah.
So they feel tired. And then that can, I feel, manifest as hormonal imbalances. I used to be a nutritional therapist 20 years ago. And I'm just very late perimenopause. And I've always been very hormonally balanced. But my sense is when a woman hits perimenopause, the midlife crisis or the midlife breakdown or the transition to her next stage, she's so tired and she's still having to do everything
Yeah. Yeah.
that suddenly there's an unleashing of a lot of repressed information that's
Mhm.
hard for her to handle and possibly hard for her partner to handle as
Mhm.
well if they haven't got the capacity or the emotional uh, regulation and intelligence to hold the space, which should, you know,
Yeah.
maybe a lot of people don't. It's not necessarily their fault.
Yeah.
So I'm I've always been really quiet in my feminine energy. So I've had to
Mhm.
do a lot of work to become more, say, practical or confident and capable in my abilities because I'm
Mhm.
more on the other end.
Yeah.
And so the women I tend to work with are probably more in their feminine and maybe find it hard to be in the world where the world is so dominated by doing, and kind of having to ignore your needs. And of course, women maybe having children later. I don't have children. I'm an auntie to my beautiful niece.
Mhm.
But maybe women having children older, um, and then having young children and having to go through the menopause. That's like a double whammy.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so I think men and women live in a world that's got a lot of pressures. And it's probably hard for most of us to show up as our true selves.
Mhm.
And maybe we don't even know what our
Yeah.
true nature actually is.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I agree, definitely. I find that I'll speak for myself too. Um,
Mm,
I sort of still live in survival mode.
right.
Like I have to just show up, get things done, not because I have the energy to always do it, because it needs to be done. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Us women,
makes
we do live in that mode, and it's so exhausting for our mental and emotional well-being and our bodies as well.
it
Do you
is.
help women overcome survival mode and kind of work and focus on what they need to?
Yeah, so that's really in the one-to-one work
Mm,
that I do. So I see women over a 12 session program. And in those sessions, we work through core. Well, how it works is a woman will usually have a trigger event just before a session.
mhm.
It's quite magical how that
Yeah.
pans out. So they always come with something. And then we can use that information it's like a spiral, really. You're going throughout the sessions to go closer and closer into maybe core wound territory. It's too much to just jump in, but we're led by the body. So
Mhm.
the woman's not having to think about what I'm going to come with today. It's like actually we tune into the body and follow the energy and we go from there. And so, yes, because when we're in survival, we're not feeling secure, we're feeling unsafe.
Yeah.
And so, through the work I've done on myself, which if you have an insecure attachment, you generally don't feel that safe subconsciously. You may not realize that you don't.
Mhm.
And then that can manifest with challenges in relationships, or for me, money, not feeling capable of creating my own money or feeling confident in my abilities. And
Mm.
I think that is really more a sensitive woman
Mhm.
um, manifestation.
Yeah.
Um, Someone else, it might come through health
Mhm.
or family dynamics.
Yeah.
Um, so most of us don't know that we're living in survival either because it's so familiar
Mm.
and normal,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, and course, there are things that a woman will need to do, especially if she's got children.
Mm. Yeah. 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 You're right. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. You talked quite a bit about the attachment styles.
Mm-hmm.
I've read about the different types a while ago. Maybe someone's watching this, they have no clue what it is. Are you able to give us a little glimpse of what it is and what it means to you and how you use it in your work to help your clients?
Sure. I mean, I'm not an expert in it, so this is just through my own reading and through my own experience and
Mhm.
observations. So, the attachment system is created from within the womb into the first 2 to 3 years of life. And it's really in response to the quality of care and the consistency of bonding between the child and the mother and the father, but predominantly the mother, because of course this is a baby. And if that's kind of hindered in any way, that can create an insecure attachment system. And it's how the brain has been formed and how the nervous system was originally structured, but it can be resolved. And that's so important for anyone listening to be hearing, because when you go into the attachment world, it can feel like a lifelong sentence,
Mm.
and it's not, because I feel that we can heal anything, but we have to be willing to give up the identity, and sometimes we can cling on to it. So an anxious attacher will go into more of a fight or flight response, and he or she may cling to people, be frightened of being abandoned or rejected, can become obsessive,
Mm.
um, and can create quite intense relationships and dynamics, can get into toxic relating. So that the anxious can attract an avoidant, which is the polar opposite, but they've got very similar belief systems and wounds. And the avoidant will will get triggered and wants to say push away from intimacy. They're hyper independent. They're very capable. They can be very successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. And underneath that, they're frightened as well, and you'll find that they kind of do magnetize each other, and they'll play out
Mhm.
the trauma really subconsciously to heal it. But of course, the avoidant may go into flight and run away, and the anxious will push people away
Yeah.
by being pretty intense. I can look back at some of my behaviors and think, oh dear, you know,
Yeah.
um, I would push people away because I was so frightened, and I could be at desperate to hold on to that person, usually a man, not in my female friendships, but that's how it went.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you've got people who may have both, and some of us will have both in different scenarios
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, these are just names. They're just, it's just a term to describe that within you are these certain fears, and your nervous system responded to survive. There's nothing wrong with anybody. Because I remember when I first discovered it all, I did feel pretty bad about myself.
Mm.
Um, but over the years, obviously the work I've done and working with other women, is there's nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
It was a way of surviving, and we are so intelligent. Our minds and our bodies are so intelligent,
Yeah.
um, and we can heal and become secure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that Was that clear?
It does. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. What is heart? Did you earlier you said heart math or map?
Mm.
Was it math or map?
Heart math.
Okay. Okay.
Heart,
What is that?
heart. So, Heart Math is an organization in the States,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and they have a particular style of breathing. And I
Mm,
think there's something like 400 peer-reviewed studies on heart math breathing. And
yeah.
I discovered it in 2020, I think.
Hmm.
And you simply place your focus on your chest and you begin to breathe in and out of your chest. And then you slow down your breathing, so just a bit slower than normal. And you breathe in and out of your chest. And that's all you do.
Hmm.
If you do this for about 3 minutes, you're going to start to feel yourself come into coherence, so into a more balanced state. And so your heart has more neurons than the brain. And so your heart's communicating up to the brain, signaling safety. And you come into coherence. And then there's another technique where you can then begin to feel gratitude. So you're changing the frequency of yourself, and your heart is doing this. And you can activate feelings of care and compassion.
Hmm.
And I believe the effects last 6 hours. If you do that for 3 minutes in the morning,
Yeah.
and again at lunch and then at night, you're beginning to repattern your nervous system. Of course, you can do it for longer. And
Mm.
if you're particularly triggered, like I have been recently with the late perimenopause, I've
Mm.
had to do it for 20 minutes, half an hour, as well as some tapping. Oh,
Mm.
I'm sorry, it's gone really dark in here. Is that okay?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I
Is
can
that
still see you. Yeah.
okay? Good, good. So the heart math, it's so accessible. As in, it's really easy to do.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
your
awesome.
heart is calming down your whole system.
Mm.
So it's something that we could all be doing every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. Talk to us a bit more about the subconscious mind. I find that most of us are afraid of it, but I think there's so much there. It's like the root of a tree. We can't
Mm,
always see which direction it's going, but we can see the fruit of it, how
mm.
healthy it is or how unhealthy it is. Why do most people avoid the subconscious mind? And what are some lessons that are there for us to learn?
I guess if you're going to work with the subconscious mind, it is work.
Yep.
It's not easy, is it?
Nope.
So if people are really busy and they're juggling loads of stuff, they have not got the time. But though you can shortcut it,
Yeah.
um, you can shortcut working with the subconscious mind.
Mhm.
But the subconscious mind is where all your programs are, where mine are. So, for example, all the anxious attachment stuff is a load of programs in my subconscious mind trying to keep me safe. And I think Dr. Bruce Lipton says about 60% of the programs running in the subconscious mind are not helpful. And you can look at your life because you can say that your life experience is the imprint of your subconscious mind. And you can say, okay, what goes well? What is really easy for me? That's the result of positive programs in the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And where do I always struggle? Where am I having the repeating patterns that do not go well, that stress me out and cause me
Mm.
difficulty? Is it relationships? Is it money? Is it health? Um, is it career? Is it creativity? What is it? That is like a printout of your subconscious mind of the programs that aren't working well.
Mm.
And so the subconscious mind is created from when we are in the womb till about 8 years old. And it's in response to what we're exposed to as we're growing up as kids. So in that 8 years, we're running at theta brainwave state and we're being programmed. So you know that you said, oh, I love your voice. So I can put you into hypnotic state through my voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And begin to reprogram your subconscious mind, because you're kind of like lulling into that kind of state. Well,
Yeah.
as children, that's the state that we were in. And we were just picking up information all the time from our parents, our primary caregivers, what was on the television, what we were listening to, what we were reading, our peers.
Mm-hmm.
And then as adults, we're kind of like acting it out. So it's that thing when people say, oh, you're just like your mum or you're just like your dad. And it's like, that's a program. That doesn't necessarily mean it is you.
Yeah.
So to reprogram your subconscious mind, you have to access in a more of a theta brainwave state. So it's the brainwaves are slowed down to reprogram with different information. So beliefs and stories that serve you and expectations. So you expect the best. So instead of me expecting that somebody wouldn't love me for who I am, I was expecting them not to. So that kept manifesting.
Yeah.
Now I've changed that to expect, well, yes, of course I am lovable. Or for someone else, it'll be something else. Then that's a situation should mirror that.
Yeah.
So the subconscious mind is everything and requires repetition. You know, so if you're doing affirmations, you're going to have to repeat them. But if you're working with if you're working one-to-one with someone, then they can regress you, or you can have hypnotherapy, whatever. Then you're working directly into the subconscious mind, so the results will be quicker. But we need to be really vigilant, you know, and become so aware of our thoughts that are just below the conscious radar. And the conscious mind is the mind that's saying, I want that healthy relationship, or I want to do this, and I want to do that, I want to do a podcast. And then we keep sabotaging because underneath the subconscious mind is saying, well, no, that's a bit scary. We don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. So you're the founder of The Becoming.
Yeah.
What is it, and how did you birth that dream?
So, and this is the becoming is a way of reprogramming the subconscious mind. So I created The Becoming in February of 2024. And it was in response to me beginning to listen to audios at nighttime to reprogram my subconscious mind. Because I was really working on some really core themes at that time. And I tend to use myself as an experiment. And I started to create audios for myself. And because I have a voice that kind of works for audios, I decided to create a program called The Becoming that would follow what I would experience with clients in the room. So what would usually come up, and I put them into an order. So there's 6 modules, and the first one is creating safety. So bringing in beliefs of I am safe, I trust myself, I'm safe in the world. They're classic inner child wounds where a lot of us don't feel safe. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust others. So that can really manifest in those relationship difficulties. I also created self-love, because most of us don't love ourselves and don't love our bodies. I know I didn't. Self-worth, not valuing ourselves and allowing us to be treated in ways that are not respectful and potentially doing the same to others. and sensuality as a woman. So really connecting to our sensuality, our senses, and our life force, our creativity, our sexuality as women. Communication, so creating beliefs to know that I'm seen, it's safe to be heard.
Mm.
And there was the sixth one, which was about being with a partner, whether you had a partner or not. This was around creating beliefs that I trust my partner. I am seen by my partner. I am safe with my partner. And, we have a beautiful time together. So instead of maybe having automatic thoughts of this isn't going to work out, or he's going to leave me, she's going to leave me, these are beliefs that I'm confident in my relationship with my partner. So even if you're in one, it can improve your relationship. But if you're looking for one, it's going to put you energetically and mentally, emotionally in a different place. So you would attract a different reflection. So that was, last year. And I've had beautiful results for women on the programme. Recently, one woman said, after 7 mornings and nights of listening to Creating Safety, she went from crisis into calm and was able to hear her higher self and then act to get the help that she needed because she was unable to do it before. And that, to me, is everything. To know, because I know some of the background to this woman, which I won't, disclose, but to hear a woman feel the power within her return so she can move herself from a crisis is everything to me.
Yeah.
And then something amazing happened, that it was actually on Bruce Lipton's website and his email. And that was just how that came to be, was also, that was like a manifestation experience, I just saw, my intention was that Becoming helped thousands of women around the world to become more secure. And so when I fell into the intention, I saw his face and I was like, who's doing it? And I only did it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But that actually then manifested in its own way. And that required me to really move through some limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And so, the Becoming is really dear to me because I wanted to create something that was affordable for women. Say they couldn't afford to see somebody one-to-one, or they could have something in their pocket that would be a really nice accompaniment to working with somebody else, for example.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Have you met Dr. Bruce Lipton? The name sounds very familiar. I don't know who he is, but I've heard it somewhere.
Okay. So no, I never met him. So he's American. So Bruce Lipton is one of the leading lights in consciousness. So he's actually, he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief. And so he is a stem cell biologist. And through his work with the human body, he noticed that consciousness is basically creating matter. So he was one of the leading lights, because this was in I think it was in the 70s or 60s. I think it's the 70s or 80s that he discovered this. So he's now in his late 70s, early 80s. And he speaks all over the world. He's like another Dr. Joe Dispenza or Gregory.
Yeah.
And so I came across his work all the way back in nutrition days, so 20 years ago. And his work has come in and out of my life. And so if you'd have said to me, 2 years ago, that someone that you really admire, you respect, is going to feature a piece of your work on his email, I'll be like,
Yeah.
And to anyone listening, that experience is like a miracle, because it's something I would never lodge. My conscious mind would never be able to imagine that. But my subconscious mind created it. Because your subconscious mind is creating life. And so, of course, we give it up to the universe.
Yeah.
And a sequence of events happened that I couldn't have possibly planned.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And that was in July, actually, this year.
Oh, wow. That's really
cool. Recently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Are there other programs that you're working on? Any projects? If so, what are they?
Well, I'm still getting the peak coming out there. And we meet online once a month, because what I really realize is when we're doing any work with the subconscious mind, generally I like to offer some support. So you have the program and then we meet up once a month. I have my one-to-one program, which is called Becoming More You, because when you become more secure, you are literally becoming more whole. So you become more of your true nature, your natural self. And so that's my one-to-one program, if any women are interested. I think the links will be with this, but they can just reach out.
Yeah.
Locally, I mean, obviously you're in Canada and this is worldwide, but locally I do woodland events and day retreats, and I want to start doing 3-day retreats next year.
Oh, nice.
And I do more. I've got some I really want to do some smaller courses. So that's what's coming. I want to do a heart math 4-week course in a small group. So women can learn it and we can come together, once a week, so they learn that skill. And I'm also thinking, years ago I had a course called Healing Connection, and I'm thinking of bringing that back. So I feel to create some 4-week courses, because they're more manageable. They don't feel like so much of a commitment. To share tools that I use that women can just work with within their life if they can't manage, say, a one-to-one program.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing. Where can people find you, connect with you, and what social media platforms are you on? Because there's so many of them.
I know, right? My actual website is becomingyourtruenature.com. I love that. And I'm on Facebook. My name's Delyth Johnson. I'm on Instagram under Becoming Your True Nature. That's quite new, because I actually received that name. Becoming Nature was given the name. So I got the domain name and changed it. But I'm really now focusing on YouTube. So you're going to find me on YouTube, and I'm wanting to share the stories with tools for women to really help them to connect back to their inner security.
sharing. Thank you.
You're so
Sounds
welcome, Bernadette. It's so lovely talking with you.
you too. Yeah. I have, I think, one last question. I might have more. What is the meaning of life for you?
Connection, actually.
Mm,
Connection.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for sharing. One last question. If you could go back and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Say, be kind to yourself. I mean, I've literally had to say that to myself over the summer.
Yeah.
Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. And don't allow yourself to be treated in ways that are disrespectful to you, because you are worthy of everything you actually desire.
Yeah. I
You
love that.
are
Yeah.
enough. You are enough. You are enough.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, Delyth, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Thank you for sharing your work, your expertise and experiences. Continue to do what you do because the world needs to hear your voice, especially us women. So thank you.
Thank you, Bernadette.
You're welcome.